Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
As Jana mentioned, I'm Carlos' son-in-law, Brian. The family has asked me to express some words of remembrance for Dad. First, I want to acknowledge and offer condolences to Dad's immediate family, Mom, Maria, Tito P, Tita Flavia, and Tita Zenaida. Family is very thankful that Tita Flavia and Tita Zenaida traveled from Batanes to see Dad. He was very excited about the visit. When I met Dad, you could say that he had already arrived at success. It was December the year 2000. He was in the twilight of his career as a computer programmer and analyst. He and Mom had their home in Valencia, a condo in Las Vegas, and they had put their daughter through college. My first impression of Dad was that he was very talkative. I would soon learn that was not the case. He was just as nervous as I was during that first meeting. Maria said that was the most she'd ever heard him talk in her life. Even though I was a stranger to the family, he was very welcoming to me and wanted to make sure I had a relationship with the family and not just his daughter. Over the next 19 years, I got to know Dad pretty well, although piecing together Dad's life is difficult. Many of you know him as a very jovial person that loves to laugh and attend parties or family gatherings. He looked forward to those events, whether they were organized parties or just visiting with friends or his local Thursday golf group. However, when it came to his personal life, Dad was very humble, and he did not like talking about himself. As Maria says, we often had to learn about Dad through deduction. Other than a few obvious traits, such as his obsession with neatness and personal appearance, like I never realized ironing clothes or styling one's hair could be so detailed. It was never straightforward getting him to discuss his other personal issues. However, some key traits of his that I learned over the years are that he always lived in the moment, he constantly demonstrated persistence, exhibited bravery when needed, and he encouraged others to pursue their personal endeavors. One topic that Dad was always willing to discuss, though, was his home in Batanes. He was very fond of Batanes, and he enjoyed talking about his life there. But you had to ask him the questions. He was born in Sabtang, Batanes on November 4th, 1942. He was a quiet boy, the third born of six, the generous farmers on an island in the Luzon Strait that sits between the Philippine Sea and the South China Sea. The family had a prosperous farm. Their dad was a local politician. Their house was near the ocean. They were active in the community, and they always shared their bounty with others in the community. All 6 children in the Imperial family graduated college, which is a great achievement for any family in the best of circumstances. When Dad had free time, he said he enjoyed riding their horse and fishing in the ocean. However, there were some challenges to growing up in South Tom. Their high school was on another island, Bosco, so they would spend extended periods of time away from home as teenagers. And the weather in this region could be very perilous. Dad and one of his sisters escaped near tragedy when their ferry boat between the islands capsized due to rough seas. Dad allowed his younger sister to hold on to him in the sea, and he made sure they both survived. His other sisters, they tell us he was a hero that day. Dad was always a good student, and after graduating high school, he moved to Manila and worked his way through college at Far Eastern University, earning a BS degree in commerce, specializing in accounting. He stayed in Manila and worked in accounting while helping his younger siblings also pursue their university education. They say he was always encouraging and wanted them to continue pursuing their dreams. He would tell them that poverty is not a hindrance to success. He also met his future wife, Rosalina, while working in Manila. They both immigrated to the United States in 1971, getting married in December of that year. He did share with me that life was more difficult than he expected in those early years. Money was not growing on the trees lining Sunset Boulevard. They lived in an apartment in Los Angeles, and it was there when they gave birth to their beautiful daughter, Maria Irina, in 1975. He loved his daughter and said her smile always brightened his day. He shared this and more while giving the best toast I have ever heard at our wedding in 2003. Dad and Mom, they wanted a better life for Maria and themselves. They diligently saved every penny possible until they could purchase their home in Valencia in 1979. During this time, Dad also studied computer programming in the evenings, and he transitioned his career. I'm sure this was a stressful time, but you would never see this with Dad. He was always in the moment. He would just keep chipping away and working on the things that needed to be done that day. Then he would move on to the next day. Over the next 40 years, Dad and Mom made a great life in their home. They were generous with it as well. For the first 10 years I knew Mom and Dad, it seemed someone else was always living with them. It was often family members, sometimes friends, but one time there was even a stranger living with them. They were very generous, and this is just one example. Dad loved hosting parties at the house, and surprisingly, he did so on November 2nd this year. That was a great day and a real gift for Dad and the loved ones that attended. I must admit, I don't believe Dad was ready to pass away. He still wanted to host more family parties, pursue new adventures, and he wanted to rejoin his Thursday golf group. I mostly believe this because he didn't seem to think about it very often. He never talked about it. He was diagnosed with a very aggressive disease, Merkel cell carcinoma, in 2014, and only 20% of patients with his diagnosis live beyond 1 year. He lived 5 more years, and a few of them were very good. But the others were a steady diet of aggressive treatments and surgeries. Although if he didn't live with Dad, he may not have been aware of this. He never wanted people to worry, and he never wanted to be a burden. Not one time did he complain about his illness or even complain about pain. Not once. During his last few weeks, we gave him a buzzer to use in case he needed anything at all. And you can probably guess how many times he used the buzzer. 0. He always insisted that he was okay and that maybe we should plan some things for when he started feeling better. Like he once mentioned a trip to Portugal, and this was 2 or 3 weeks ago. That was sad. He was a religious man and very principled. In the way he lived his life, you could tell he believed that if you treated people well, which he always did, and you worked hard, then everything in your own life would work out. He survived near tragedy in the Luzon Strait. He moved to Manila and later to Los Angeles, started a family and purchased a home in Valencia. He changed career paths during a stressful time in his life. And I believe that he viewed his illness as nothing more than just another obstacle that he would overcome. I take solace in the fact that Dad, he didn't let his last years, months, or even days consume him with worry or regret, and he easily could have done so. I'll always admire his ability to live in the moment. He didn't dwell in the past or place much worry on the future. That's a beautiful way to live and a great example for many of us to follow. In closing, Dad still would not want us to worry about him or worry about what might happen tomorrow. It would please him if we take advantage of this day to share stories with each other and try to have a good laugh. Rest in peace, Dad.